called overboard. And we have safety equipment on this boat that meets or exceeds all U.S. Coast Guard safety requirements. In the very unlikely event of an emergency, we have crew members that would assist in the donning of that equipment. Smoking is not permitted on this boat. We have a bar. I think it's pretty well equipped down on the lower deck, and that's where the bathrooms are located as well. And both the bathrooms and the bar will be open for this 90 minutes. I think it's Deborah down there at the bar. She's our bartender today. She does a fine job. She's a great bartender. Along with architecture, I'll be talking about some of Chicago's history on this trip. In 1673, two French explorers named Joliet and Marquette navigated their way through the Mississippi River, all the way through the Chicago River, out to what they said at that time is a vast sea of water, which is Lake Michigan. And in 1803, the first fort was built. If you look across the river, the Crane Communications Building, that sits on the site where Fort Dearborn used to be, and Fort Dearborn was named after Henry Dearborn, who was Secretary of War for Thomas Jefferson. Chicago was a and most of that sort kind of been replaced in Chipperware in any fashion, and it's taken out of its place. And it's also 6 different shades of terracotta, a bit lighter and brighter as you move up closer to the top. I think it's become a really good review of this on the travel check course on the way to the lake. And we're going to be, you can see our contender puzzles right now. And I'll talk about it as well. The Crane Communications Building, describe that next, it's to the left. That was designed by Alfred Auschler. It is formerly the London Guarantee Building. That has a concave design to it that follows the intersection of Michigan Avenue and Wecker Drive. The building on the other side is 333 North Michigan Avenue. That building is a runner-up design for the Tribune Tower across the river. That 333 North Michigan Avenue building is a Halliburton Root Art Deco design. And if you look at the 5th floor level of this Halliburton Root building, you'll see some sculptings. And those sculptings depict the growth and history of the Chicago. This next area is Illinois Center. Illinois Center 1, Illinois Center 2. Those are Mies Van der Rohe designs. Mies Van der Rohe had his offices in those buildings. And behind Illinois Center 2, you'll see the top of the building expired. Two Prudential is a 1990 global Schlosser and Hackle design. And we'll be coming into view very shortly here. Two Prudential is also 2 shades of gray granite with blue reflective glass. The color of that gray granite on Two Prudential was very specifically chosen so that it would match the original Prudential building, which will be coming into view right next to Two Prudential. And in 1955, the original Prudential building was Chicago's tallest building of 47 floors. You want to go through that water? We'll just try to step on it, we'll go through the water. In the distance, you'll see a blue building with white horizontal stripes. That's an architectural piece that had just an absolute passion for sailing. And everything that Harry Weese designed reflected in one way or another his love of sailing. And in 1990, Harry Weese designed the Swiss Hotel, which will be coming up on the other side of this bridge. The building's in the shape of a triangle, and the triangle's a nautical reference. Right now, LakeShoreEast.com. It'll show you what this area is going to look like in the future and the floor plans for those condominiums. And you can see that blue building now with the white horizontal stripes in view. That is the Blue Cross Blue Shield building. Easy to locate. It's blue and it's in the shape of a cross. That's a 1993 design by Dirk Lohan, who's the grandson of Mies Van der Rohe. That won an architecture award for being very innovative, not because of its shape and color, but the rectangular shapes on the sides house the mechanicals, the elevators, and the ventilation system. That building was designed so that if needed, it can have another 24 floors added to it. And if they decide to add more floors to that building, those office workers will never have to be displaced. They can stay in that building, continue to work as construction progresses above them and at the sides. If a building has an antenna on it, the antenna is not included in its height because it's not considered part of its structure. Whereas if a building has a spire, the spire is considered part of its structure, but it's included in its height. There's going to be a new building. This is really kind of getting the sound on between this structure and Lakeshore Drive. It's going to be the Fordham Spire, designed by Santiago Caliparo. And that building is going to be 2,000 feet tall. The Sears Tower is 1,454. And they're integrating the antenna in the spire so that they can include all of that in the height. And the shape of it is very, very unusual. It's going to look like a twisted spire from the ground all the way. During the 1860s, when Chicago was the rail hub of the nation, people flocked to this town. The city went through an urban explosion, and the river seemed the most logical place to throw garbage. Everything went into this river. Dead animal carcasses, raw sewage, everything that wasn't wanted or needed thrown into this river. This was once a really contaminated river, and a great effort's been made to clean it. It's still an ongoing effort today. The city is very steadfast in keeping it clean. Every day you'll see the Water Reclamation District boats out here pulling debris out of it. It started in O'Leary's barn, and on the day the fire started, Chicago had only seen about a half-inch of rain the previous 2 months. And on that day, there were 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts, so that fire burned very rapidly. It was a big fire that burned about 20 blocks north of here, 20 blocks south, west, to Halstead, east, all the way to the lake. That fire was able to jump the river a couple of times because the river was so polluted it started on fire. And everything burned, but one structure still remains today, and that's the old water tower on Michigan Avenue. The rubble from that fire was pushed into Lake Michigan in Grand Park sits on the rubble from the Chicago fire. This city was very economically prosperous because of the rail industry and was able to afford to bankroll the architects that came to this town to help rebuild it. And that Renaissance of Chicago was the birth of modern architecture, which is a use of new technology. At that time, it was steel, glass, and cement, and that's when the elevator was invented. That's how Chicago received the name Second City. It's rebirth after that fire. If you look to the left, you'll see a very pretty boat that is docked. That's Lake Point Tower. I'll describe it in 1965. But that was President Roosevelt's boat at one time. Lots of presidents have used that boat. And there have been some movies filmed on there. A movie with Marilyn Monroe was filmed on there, something like that. Also with Tony Curtis. That's a charter boat now. And that boat spends the winters in Fort Lauderdale during the summertime. And it was for sale last year for $1.4 million. We are traveling east on the river right now. This is the direction that this river used to flow. We're waiting right out into Lake Michigan. Well, people relied on Lake Michigan for their drinking water. People started getting sick. Some people died. 10% of Chicago's population died from typhoid, cholera, other waterborne diseases. So a sanitary and ship canal was dredged on the other side of the river. And it was between the south side of the Michigan River and the north side of the river. It's 30 miles long. It was dredged 10 feet deeper. This is about 22 to 25 feet deep. Lake Michigan is 2 feet higher. Constructed the Chicago Lock just ahead of this boat. And we'll get a great view of that because we'll be in it shortly. That regulates the water levels now and the boat traffic. This river and the Snowy River in Australia are the only 2 rivers in the world that have been manually. And there is a protocol system to this lock. First priority, if there are several boats waiting, first priority in this lock are government vessels. The Chicago Police Department Marine Unit, U.S. Coast Guard, the Conservation Police. Second priority, commercial passenger vessels, which is what we are. third priority, commercial cargo boats, and the last priority are the pleasure boats. In 1890, the U.S. Congress was looking for a spot to hold. That first Ferris wheel was 10 stories tall. It had 10 carts on it. Each cart held 60 people, and it made one revolution every 26 minutes. And if you want to go to Navy Pier, there's a free trolley that picks up on the corner of Illinois and Rush Street. That's right behind our Wendalla dock. While we're waiting to describe Lake Point Tower right now, that's that curved building that you see to the right. There can't be any building east of Lakeshore Drive because Chicago owes a great debt of gratitude to Montgomery Ward for that, because he fought for 16 years to keep Chicago's 28 miles of lakefront unobstructed. But that building clearly sits east of Lake.
Oh, look at all the creatures down there.